The year 1947 marked the end of British colonial rule in India. It also marked the birth of two new nations, India and Pakistan. The partition was a bloody and chaotic affair. Millions were displaced and communal violence claimed countless lives. Kashmir, with its Muslim-majority population ruled by a Hindu Maharaja, became a point of contention. The Maharaja's decision to accede to India triggered the first war between India and Pakistan. The war ended with Kashmir divided, a source of conflict to this day. The unresolved Kashmir issue cast a long shadow over India-Pakistan relations. It fueled mistrust and animosity, making peaceful coexistence a distant dream. The partition's legacy continues to haunt both nations. The wounds run deep, shaping the political consciousness of both India and Pakistan. The experience of displacement and violence left an indelible mark on their collective memories. The conflict over Kashmir led to a series of wars and military escalations between India and Pakistan. In 1965, Pakistan launched Operation Gibraltar, aiming to infiltrate and incite an uprising in Indian-administered Kashmir. India retaliated with a full-scale military offensive, leading to a fierce but inconclusive war. The 1971 war witnessed a different dimension to the conflict. East Pakistan's struggle for independence drew India's support. The war ended with Pakistan's defeat and the birth of Bangladesh. The 1971 war solidified India's military superiority in the region and further aggravated tensions. In 1999, the Kargil conflict brought the two nuclear-armed neighbors dangerously close to war. Pakistani forces infiltrated positions in the Kargil sector of the line of control, aiming to exploit perceived vulnerabilities in the Indian defenses. India launched Operation Vijay to evict the intruders, leading to intense fighting in the high-altitude terrain. The Kargil conflict highlighted the risks of miscalculation and the ever-present danger of escalation in the India-Pakistan rivalry. It served as a stark reminder of the devastating consequences that a full-blown conflict between the two nuclear-armed neighbors could have, not just for the region, but for the world. Despite the long history of conflict, there have been intermittent attempts at peace between India and Pakistan. The 1972 Simla Agreement, signed after the 1971 war, sought to establish a framework for bilateral relations and peaceful resolution of disputes. The agreement committed both sides to resolving their differences through dialogue and diplomacy. The 1999 Lahore Declaration, signed by Prime Ministers Nawaz Sharif and Atal Bihari Vajpayee, raised hopes for a breakthrough in relations. The declaration reaffirmed the commitment to the Simla Agreement and outlined a roadmap for addressing various bilateral issues, including Kashmir. In addition to these agreements, several ceasefire agreements have been reached over the years to reduce tensions along the line of control. However, these ceasefires have often been short-lived, with both sides accusing each other of violations. Despite these efforts, the underlying issues fueling the conflict remain unresolved. The trust deficit between India and Pakistan runs deep, and any progress towards peace has been frustratingly slow and often overshadowed by renewed tensions and incidents of violence. Section 4. The Pahalgam Attack, Igniting the 2025 Conflict. On April 22, 2025, a devastating terrorist attack in Pahalgam, a popular tourist destination in Indian-administered Kashmir, shattered any semblance of normalcy. The attack, which claimed the lives of 26 civilians, mostly Indian tourists, sent shockwaves through India and raised fears of a dangerous escalation in tensions. India was quick to blame Pakistan-based terrorist group Lashkar-e-Taiba for the attack. Hashim Musa, a known Lashkar-e-Taiba operative, was identified as the mastermind behind the Pahalgam attack. India accused Pakistan of providing safe haven to the terrorists and allowing them to operate with impunity. In retaliation, India launched Operation Sindoor, targeting alleged terrorist infrastructure across the line of control. Pakistan, denying any involvement in the Pahalgam attack, vowed to respond forcefully to any Indian aggression. The situation escalated rapidly, with both sides exchanging artillery fire and mortar shells across the line of control. The Pahalgam attack marked a dangerous turning point, jeopardizing years of relative peace and raising the specter of a full-blown conflict between the nuclear-armed neighbors. The international community watched with growing concern, urging both sides to exercise restraint and engage in dialogue to de-escalate the situation. Section 5. The Road Ahead, navigating a complex relationship. The 2025 conflict between India and Pakistan underscores their volatile relationship. Burdened by history, mistrust, and complex political factors, the Kashmir dispute remains the most contentious issue. Both countries claim the entire region, triggering wars and skirmishes. Cross-border terrorism complicates matters, with India accusing Pakistan. Territorial disputes, terrorism, and mistrust make a solution daunting. Nationalism and extremism add complexity. Despite challenges, peace is a necessity. The costs of conflict are too high, dialogue and diplomacy are essential. The international community must encourage peace. The stakes are too high to repeat history.